Hi guys, it's Miss Sheree here at the Northfield Library, and today I have one of my favorite books. It's one of my very favorites, but there's something interesting about this book. Well, the person doesn't want us to read it. Yes, they don't want us to read this book. But are we going to read this book? I Will Chomp You by Jory John, illustrated by Bob Shea. Hey, go away. Already, they don't want us to read it. I will chomp you. If you turn any more pages, I will chomp you, Buster. Ooh, really doesn't want us to read this. How rude. Now quit it. Hey, I'm warning you. You've officially been warned. Should we keep going? I think so. Chomp! He almost got us. Well, I missed, but I won't miss again. You do not want to turn another page, Buster. You do not want these feet running at you. You do not want these teeth chomping at you. Here it comes. Chomp. I missed again. Oh, you're very good, Buster. Very good indeed. Now, I'm asking nicely. Please put the book down. Put the book down and read something else. Or go outside. Be a good kid. Don't make me beg. Okay, I beg of you. Stop reading. Please, stop. Chomp. Did he get us that time? You're too good for this old guy. I'm fast, but you're faster. I'll be okay. Just give me a moment. You're probably wondering why I'm so eager to chase you away. Can you keep a secret? He's gonna tell us a secret. It's because I have all my cakes back here at the very end of this book. See? See all my beautiful frosted cakes. Cakes with sprinkles. Cakes with chocolate. Cakes with strawberries and vanilla. Pineapple upside down cake and pineapple right side up cake. Angel food cake and Boston cream pie and coffee cake and cupcakes and fruit cake. Yes, all my lovely cakes. And you found them. Most people don't get this far. Most people are afraid of all my chomping. See, I don't like to share my cakes. I want to chomp them all. They're all for me. Chomp. But I guess you can have a couple of these. And maybe one of these. And this. Here you go. Just come a little closer. And a little bit closer. Chomp! You win. How about this? I'll give you half my cakes if you promise to never read this book again. Do you promise? Do we promise? No. You're not going to start over, are you, Buster? We're done, right? Okay, I can see you're going to do whatever you want. Fine, go ahead and turn all the pages again. What do I care? Chomp, 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 chomp. Chomp. Ugh, my stomach hurts. Ugh. I've eaten too much cake. Oh no. Should we turn the last page? The end. Chomp. Did you enjoy this very funny story about this monster who wants to chomp us and his delicious, delectable cakes? I can't wait to see you next week, and if not, you can stick around and stay for the craft. See you soon. Are you still here? Get out of here, Buster, or I'm gonna chomp ya. We just finished reading the book, I Will Chomp You, and now it's craft time. I have the head, the white head, to my chomp monster. 2 hands, 2 feet, 1 tail, 1 body, and 1 delicious cake to feed our monster. For supplies, you will need markers, crayons, or anything that you like to color with. It could even be watercolor paint, whatever you choose or have around the house. The next thing you will need is something to attach our body together, whether it's tape, glue stick, liquidy glue, use what you got. Then I will be using a pair of scissors to cut out my tiny cake. Let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is decorate our monster chomp's body. So you will have a blank head. I went ahead, I cheated a little bit, and I already started to decorate Chomp's head. Look at that. So I went ahead, and the first thing that you will have to do is take a black marker or crayon and draw his eyes, his nostrils for his nose, and a mouth. And in the story, he has lots and lots of expressions. He has some that he's open-mouthed with eyebrows pointing down, which means he's angry. He has some where he looks like he's closing his eyes and thinking. And look at his expression here. His eyes are open, but his eyebrows are like that. Or he looks like he's sad. So whatever expression you choose, try your best. Just make sure he has 2 eyes, 2 holes or dots for his nose, and a mouth. And that's all you need to do. So for mine, I wanted to show him looking very angry, like he's gonna chomp me at any second. And the first thing that I did was take my black marker or crayon, and I drew 2 circles for his eyeballs. And then the next thing I did, after I drew those circles, is that I drew some larger circles around those. And you're going to do the same thing. Larger circles around those smaller circles. And then I went ahead and drew his eyebrows. And like I said, I wanted him to look angry. So I made the eyebrows 1 line, but I made them going down. Right into his eyes. Then the next thing that I did is I drew 2 small circles right in the middle of both of his eyes for his nose. 1, 2. And I wanted him to look very angry, so I made a scraggly zigzag line going across the middle of this circle. So I just went up, down, up, down, up, down, until I got to the end of this page. And you can try your best and draw whatever expression you want, even if you want to make him look happy. Now after you do that, I colored his head blue because that's the way he was drawn in the story. If you choose to draw your monster a different color, it's completely up to you. I peeled this crayon so that way I could use it flatly. So I took it and I rubbed it against the page like this. You can color normally like that. You can use a blue marker, whatever you want. But I chose to do it this way. And I just took the side of my crayon and I'm rubbing it against the paper. This helped me to get more surface of the paper colored at once. and quicker, but you don't have to do that. So you're going to color it all blue. Here we go. Make sure you get his whole head nice and colored. Here we go. So the next step that I did, I just wanted to add some extra special details. In the story, our little Chomp friend here has some very dark markings that look like black on the bottom half of his face. And then at the top, he has some light blue. You do not have to do this. These are just extra details that I thought would be fun to add. So I took my black crayon and I lightly colored the bottom half of my little friend's face here. I just did the very bottom half, not the whole thing. One up the side of his head. The bottom, just to give it some more details to make him look like he did in the story. There we go. And then I'm going to take a light blue crayon and I'm just going to add a little bit to the top of his head like it was in the story. And again, you don't have to do this. And depending on how hard you color it with the other crayon, you might not even see the blue crayon, and that's okay. But it's always fun to add some details however you choose when you're drawing or creating something. There we go. Part 1 is done. Set his head to the side. The next part, of course, is his body. He has to have a body, right? So you're going to take his body, and of course the smaller part is going to go at the top, like in the story, and the bottom part is at the bottom. And I'm going to make some stripes for his clothing, just like you see in this picture. You can use green or yellow, depending on what the colors that you like or you choose to use. I think I'm going to choose yellow. I'm going to take something nice and bright, like my yellow marker, and I'm going to give him some yellow stripes. And in the story, he has 3 stripes, but you don't have to do 3. You can use 2. You can have no stripes at all. You can have polka dots. So I did 3 yellow stripes. Now I have to go back and do some coloring with my blue crayon. So I'm going to color, and go back in between those 3 stripes that I just did and try to add as much blue as I can. Now if you're at home coloring and you're like, oh no, I got some blue inside my yellow, that is okay, because blue and yellow make green. You just made a new color. I'm going to fill those white spots. Coloring, finishing the bottom half with all the white spots. There we go. Now we're going to make sure we're not missing any details on his body. And it looks like he has some black dark spots going down here if you wanted to add them. And if not, then you're good to go. I'm just going to add a little bit to my one side of his body. Again, you don't have to add this detail. This is optional. All right, I've added that. Now I'm going to set that part to the side. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to decorate my cake. It's going to have a nice orange wrapper. A nice bright orange wrapper. And then I think I'm going to give it some nice blue frosting. I'm just coloring around the edges. And then I'm going back and I'm just coloring in the white spaces. And to the very top of my cupcake, I'm going to add a nice red sprinkle or a cherry, whatever you want, wherever you think it is. I'd like to think it's a nice big red sprinkle. And I'm even going to go back, add some other details. That. And now my cake is done. And I'm going to cut out my cake using some nice kid-size scissors and taking my time and going right around the edge. And as always, you can try and practice cutting yourself or ask a grown-up for help. And done. Set that part to the side. Get those scraps out of here. Okay, putting the scissors away. I now have these 3 parts done and ready. And now it's time to build. So you need to take out that glue, scissors, or tape, and let's start constructing our body. So the first thing that we have to do is put our head to our body. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the very top, the smallest part. Add some glue. As you can see, I've added to the top. And now I'm going to add his head. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We did it. So now that part's on. Now the next parts are going to be his 2 feet, his 2 arms, and his tail. So I'm just going to use the bigger, the fatter blue ones as his feet. You can use the smaller ones, whatever you want to do. I'm just going to add a little bit of blue or glue to the top of the foot. So compared to the other ones, you can see this one is a little bit bigger than this one. So I'm going to use that one as the foot. And then I'm going to press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Moving on to the next foot. Add a little bit of glue. Slide it underneath his body and press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to do his tail, which is just a little triangle. Add glue. Do the same thing I did before. Stick it under his body, closer to his feet, and press. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now that we've got that part, we have to add his arms, of course. And just like when you drew his mouth and his face, however expression you wanted, you can have his arms going up. And he's holding his arms up and he's angry at us. You can have his arms going out like that. You can have his arms going this way. Whatever you want. I am going to stick with this one. Add a little bit of glue. And press. Add a little bit of glue. You're going to add glue now to the fingers. You're going to add glue to the other end of his arm. And I'm going to stick it behind there and press. The very last thing to complete our very own Chomp Monster is, of course, his favorite, and I'm sure it's yours too, the cupcake. I'm just going to glue the cupcake very simply and easily to one of his hands, like he's holding it, trying to keep it away from us. There we go. This is your very own monster. We did it! Craft and story completed. Great job, friends. See you next week. Hey, I told you to get out of here. Got me cake? Oh.